Tell me, have you ever met someone who owned a mountain of gold, yet lived in the shadows of starvation? Wealth is supposed to bring freedom, but for some, it becomes a heavy chain. Today, we journey to the village of Monohorpor to follow the life of a man named Upin, a man who was the wealthiest in the land, but whose spirit was poorer than a beggar's. Welcome to Guiding Glow Tales. Upin owned the vastest lands, the grandest mansions, and the deepest pockets. Yet he walked the dusty streets in tattered rags, his sandals held together by string, and his stomach always half empty. He trusted no one, not even himself. Every rustle of a leaf at night, every whisper in the market made his heart race with a singular, paralyzing fear. "They are coming for my money," he would hiss. This paranoia was his only companion.
Desperate to end his constant worry, Upin made a radical choice. He decided to turn his visible world into an invisible secret. He sold his fertile lands, his blooming orchards, even his family heirlooms, for a mountain of paper cash, which he then converted into solid, heavy bars of pure gold. The sight of the gold made his eyes burn with a dark fire. He thought, gold is small, gold is silent, gold is easy to hide. But where? One moonless night, under the shroud of darkness, he crept into his garden to a massive, ancient banyan tree, its roots like the fingers of a giant. There, he dug a deep pit and buried his soul's desire. He buried his gold. "Now I am safe," he whispered to the shadows. "Now my life is secure underground." But he was not alone. Through the thickets, a pair of eyes was watching, silent and sharp.
Life became a cycle of obsession. Every morning, before the sun could touch the horizon, Upin would run to the garden. He would dig up the dirt just to touch the cold metal, to see it glisten in the twilight. And then he would bury it again. He never spent a cent of it. He never bought a warm coat. He never helped a starving neighbor. To him, having the gold was the peace. Using the gold was the pain. But among his staff was a man named Bola. Bola played the fool, but he had the heart of a fox. He had witnessed the midnight burial. He waited with the patience of a predator. One day, Upin had to travel to the city, knowing he wouldn't return until late. Bola seized his moment. With a shovel and a grin, he dug up the treasure. And by the time the moon rose, Bola was miles away, leaving behind only an empty hole and the smell of fresh dirt. When Upin returned the next morning, he went straight to his beloved tree. But the earth looked different, disturbed. He dug with his bare hands, his fingernails bleeding, until he hit the bottom. It was empty. The silence of the hole was deafening. Upin let out a shriek that tore through the village. He fell to the ground, tearing at his hair, howling like a wounded animal. The villagers gathered, confused and startled. "My life! My soul! It's gone!" he wailed. "The thieves have taken my everything!" Among the crowd stood an old man named Ramhari, a man known for his quiet wisdom. He watched Upin's hysterics with a calm, reflective gaze. He stepped forward and asked, "Tell me, Upin, what did you do with this gold when you had it? Did it feed you? Did it give you warmth?" Ramhari leaned down, picked up a large, heavy, worthless stone from the ground. He dropped it into the empty hole and began to cover it with dirt. The villagers gasped, and Upin looked at him as if he were insane. "There," Ramhari said softly. "Now, every morning, you can come here, dig up the dirt, and look at this stone. Imagine it is your gold, and go back to your day in peace." Upin was furious. "How dare you mock me? A stone is not gold!" Ramhari looked him in the eye and said, "To you, it is the same. For a treasure that is never used, that sits forever in the dark, has no more value than a common rock. Gold is only gold when it changes a life, when it buys a meal or builds a home. To a man who only hoards, a diamond and a pebble are of equal worth." Upin fell silent. The weight of the truth hit him harder than the loss of the gold. He realized he had spent his life protecting a dream that was already dead. Friends, true wealth isn't measured by what we keep, but by the value we create with what we have. Don't let your life's potential lie buried in the dirt. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to Guiding Glow Tales for more journeys into the human heart. Until next time, live richly and stay wise.